welcome back to the channel, people. Welcome back to Barno. I hope you're doing well and ready to tune into this new style of video that we're taking on today. Today's video, we're going to be breaking down a football team that I've watched this season, a little bit of tactical analysis, the positive things that are going on with the club at the minute, and negative things that are going on in the club at the minute, and also things that may need to happen very, very soon with this football club. So grab a drink, sit back and relax, and also don't forget to smash the like button, people. And if you're new to the channel of Barno, click that subscribe as well, because we are slowly building this amazing YouTube community at the minute. So the team I'll be talking about today and covering is a team that's quite close to me from where I live in Cornwall, and is also we have vlogged and actually watched about 4 times this season already, and it is Plymouth Argyle Football Club. So today we're going to break them down, see how the season's going, and give my personal opinions on what may need to change or how they can improve. Wondering why I'm wearing a Liverpool shirt talking about Plymouth Argyle is because I'm filming the video on a Saturday and Liverpool play Brentford away in the Premier League on Saturday night. So by the time this video comes out, you would have known if either Liverpool won, draw or lost against Brentford in the Premier League. So let's talk about Plymouth Argyle. There's a lot to unpack with Plymouth Argyle over the last few months. The first one being they got relegated from the EFL Championship, which is very unfortunate. So they've moved down from the EFL Championship down into League One, so the second tier into the third tier. Normally when clubs get relegated like this does have a knock-on effect with, you know, the manager, players of the club. This did happen with Plymouth. Miron Muslic, the manager at the time, decided to leave because he received quite a big offer from Schalke 04 in Germany, so he then left the club. Certain players that left Plymouth Argyle: Adam Randall went to the Championship for Bristol City, Ryan Hardy, the striker, left Plymouth Argyle to go to Wrexham, and also a guy called, I can't really pronounce his name, Talarov, awful name pronunciation I know, he then left Argyle to stay in the Championship, and he now plays at Stoke City. So a lot of players did sort of leave Argyle, which kind of left Argyle a big hole open, thinking, well, what players do we need to sign so they can rebuild and reconstruct maybe a promotion fight, or try and win League One, or just get a playoff position. A good amount of money coming outgoing players in the summer window. The way they reinvested the money is a lot of players come in on either a free transfer or an emergency loan. This is why a lot of Plymouth fans get quite angry at the board and the owner, Simon Hallett, because he doesn't really tend to spend money after they made a decent chunk of transfer profit. Not even just last summer, they made a lot of transfer profit the summer before that as well. After a couple of players coming in on free transfers like Amamechi and also Owen Orseni, who got signed for £60,000, then you've got other like emergency loans with like Alexander Mitchell coming in. Plymouth also needed a new manager with Muslic leaving the club. So who did Plymouth go and get? They went and got Tom Cleverley, who at the time had just been sacked from Watford Football Club. Now, if you know about Watford, you know full well they don't like having managers for a very long period of time. Cleverley was sacked at the end of last season, was a free agent, and Plymouth decided to snatch him up and bring him into Plymouth Argyle Football Club. So with a few new players coming in, Tom Cleverley also now as the manager, could Plymouth strike up a title winning race, or get in a promotion place, or even just get in the playoffs at the end of the League One season? So Plymouth began their League One campaign this season with a game at home against Barnsley. This is a game I actually went and vlogged and watched as well. Spoke to a couple of Plymouth fans pre-game talking about the lineup, the formation, and a lot of Plymouth fans did say to me they didn't have a centre forward, as in there's no striker or proper striker on the field to actually get them goals. They had to use Caleb Watts, who actually scored in that game, as a centre forward, even though he's more of like an attacking midfielder slash winger. Kind of worrying at the time. I did think Plymouth were going to win the match. Unfortunately, Plymouth did lose their opening game 3-1 to Barnsley. Barnsley even went down to 10 men as well. Plymouth did get a goal back after Barnsley went down to 10 men, but they conceded a counter-attack and Barnsley just sealed that game. It was a crazy old game, 8 yellows, 1 red card, a massive fight, as I'll show you right here, between Wiradou and Shepherd, and every player decided to get involved. Even Cooper, the goalkeepers, ran from one end of the pitch to the other to get involved with the scrap. It was a very, very scrappy game. Not the result Plymouth wanted on opening day, but you know, it's opening day. They would bounce back next week. After the opening day loss, I thought Plymouth might have bounced back, and the next 3 games, Plymouth lost every single one. They lost 2-0 to Bolton, lost 3-2 to Lincoln, and they also lost at home to Leyton Orient. At this point of the time, a lot of people were making sympathy for Cleverley, saying he had nothing to work with. It wasn't really his tactics, it was more the players on the pitch. It was more Hallett and the board just not investing into the club. They didn't even have a centre forward. They didn't even have a striker at this time. So realistically, with the transfer window coming to an end, were Plymouth going to get a centre forward to help them maybe get this League One season underway? So 4 games in, Plymouth had 4 losses, and a Friday night before the Blackpool game, Plymouth fans heard the news they wanted to hear for quite a while. A striker had been signed for Plymouth Argyle, but not just any sort of striker. The £1.3 million Plymouth received from Randall, Talarov and Hardy, they spent this £1.3 million on a Swiss striker called Laurent Talage. Laurent Talage comes from Port Vale. He had a very good season last season, and a lot of EFL fans in League One, Championship and League Two were actually quite surprised that Plymouth Argyle got their hands on Laurent Talage. Signing being announced on a Friday night, a lot of Plymouth fans were very, very happy for Saturday's game against Blackpool at home, which is another game I actually vlogged as well, being Talage's debut. Could Plymouth finally get their first win in the season under their belt? It wasn't the most craziest game of football. Talage missed an open net early doors, which was kind of mental, and then actually the game actually did have one goal scorer, which was from Plymouth Argyle, the most unlikely goal scorer. Malachi Boateng scored this absolutely wonderful little bit of individual piece of skill, goes around a defender, slots it into the back post. Plymouth actually went and won the game 1-0, a scrappy 1-0 win, but they take it, and it kind of made you think that Cleverley may be getting this team working now, especially with Talage as well, because Talage personally for me was man of the match. The amount of runs he would make, creating play, getting shots off at goal, hold up play, it was fantastic. Plymouth had a centre forward, a recognised centre forward, which could score goals and win them games. After the 1-0 win, they did have Cardiff away next, and a lot of Plymouth fans weren't really expecting to win that game, and Plymouth did go and get battered 4-0 by Cardiff, but Cardiff are one of the main best teams in League One. They are expected to win League One this season, if not get promoted and go back to the Championship next season. After getting thrashed by Cardiff, Plymouth's results are very inconsistent. They did win against Luton away 3-2 with 10 men. Joe Edwards did get sent off, but a crazy game that was, with Bradley Ibrahim scoring the winner in that match. Playing Stockport County at home, who are a decent team, but Plymouth beat them 4-2 on the day, and I mean, Laurent Talage was at his best. This touch, this turn, this finish right here that he scores, which the assist actually comes from Luca Ashby-Hammond, the goalkeeper. Incredible bit of play that is. They did beat Burton Albion away, which is a team that they realistically should be thrashing. Once again, Talage scoring. Bin Peppel even scored that day. Then you get the weird results. Wigan 1-1. Peterborough at home, they lose 1-0. Just these inconsistent results, which isn't helping Plymouth really get up the table. So they were just sort of floating around the lower mid-table in League One at this time. And also as well, they lost at home to Wimbledon 2-1 after going 1-0 up. So why were these inconsistent results always happening with Plymouth Argyle? One of the main reasons I think with the inconsistent results is the formation changes. I think Tom's changed the formation once or twice. I'm going to break down the formations he's played so far this season. And after Burton Albion away, which is actually a game, Tom changed the formation. I think that might be why Plymouth are struggling a little bit, because they're getting found out an awful lot with the way that they play and the formation that they use. So I'm going to switch the camera and show you what I mean by this. Using an F1 car as a tripod here. So this is Tom Cleverley's 4-2-3-1 that he set up at the start of the season with Plymouth and used for the first few games. Now there's a bit of versatility with this team as well, because you'd have Galloway and Such, who are centre-backs, almost playing as versatile full-backs in certain games. Your two DMs would have been Boateng and Bradley Ibrahim. Caleb Watts should have been playing there, but at the time with no striker, he was playing here. So normally it would be Amamechi here. Ballymunba, who's normally a left back, will be playing left wing. So when Plymouth went to Burton Albion away and won the game 4-0, Tom had changed the formation and the system to a 3-4-2-1. So this system's a little bit different, as you've got two wing backs now, a bit more defensive cover, having three centre halves, normally Galloway, Ross/Mitchell or Wiradu. Centre mids would still be Boateng and Ibrahim, but they could also rotate as attacking midfielders, you know, with Patterson or Peppel. Then Talage just being the main sort of striker. Mumba and Sorinola would be happy as a wing-back position, because they know they still have to defend, but they know he can go up and down these channels as like left wing and right wing, creating chances, putting balls into the box, corners, etc, etc. So this is a system Tom decided to stick with for the few games after that, and this is what the poor run of results has happened with, because they've been found out with this system as well. So that's two systems Cleverley has tried already at Plymouth Argyle with a bit of a better squad now, and it's just still not working for Plymouth Argyle at this current minute. So with Plymouth's results not looking good, the formation not really working because they're getting found out all the time, Plymouth's biggest game was also round the corner, the Devon derby, which I think is a very, very underrated derby in English football. They played Exeter away very recently. Now the Devon derby is a very, very intense rivalry between Plymouth and Exeter. Now this is a game that you'd expect Argyle players to turn up, want to win it, show a bit of passion and show a bit of fight, because you want to win the derby games no matter what happens. And at this point, Plymouth and Exeter hadn't played each other in 3 years. The game was at St James's Park. I did watch it. Plymouth lost 2-0. And in the derby match as well, that was one of the worst performances I've seen from Plymouth this season. So after the full-time whistle went at the Devon Derby, the fans are now really showing frustration towards the board, towards the chairman of Simon Hallett. Everyone wants Simon Hallett to leave. They are very, very adamant of getting rid of Simon Hallett now. A lot of fans as well want Cleverley out. They maybe think that Cleverley's now been found out. The thing with Cleverley, they felt sympathy with him at the start of the season because he didn't really have the tools and the players to work with. A few players have come in. The team is okay. For League One, Plymouth's team is good enough to get out of League One, and they now sit 21st, relegation zone. So realistically now, I think fans now begin to point the finger at Cleverley. Maybe Cleverley now needs to go. There just needs to be a big restructure at Plymouth very, very soon. Or Cleverley finds a magic switch, clicks it, and Plymouth starts turning it around very, very soon, because there are a few games into the season now and they really should not be in a relegation battle. That team on paper for Plymouth should not be in a relegation battle, and they have now lost to their biggest rivals, well, Devon Derby rivals, which is never good. No one likes losing to their Derby rivals at all in football. So realistically with Plymouth now is, do they get rid of Tom Cleverley or do they give him a few more games? And if they do get rid of Tom Cleverley, who do Plymouth go out there and get to try and help him get up the League One table a little bit? Also in the January window, if it doesn't keep improving, or the end of the season, is Laurent Tallage going to leave because maybe he's too good for the team? A proper good centre forward, maybe too good for that team, could be championship level striker. Finally, will Plymouth fans really put on a big protest in getting Simon Hallett out of the club, selling the club, getting new investors in, and getting Plymouth Argyle back to where it should be in the championship with a decent squad and just out of League One? It's not a good time for Plymouth at the minute, and I don't really like to see it as well because they are quite a local team close to me. So I'm kind of hoping things do turn around soon. I'm kind of hoping Cleverley does turn it around soon because I don't think he's got much time left at Plymouth Argyle if things are going the way that they are going. Plymouth now have 5 away games in a row too, which is not easy because Plymouth do struggle to win away from home. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot of negativity with Plymouth at the minute. They've had a couple positive moments this season, but at the minute it's very negative. A lot of fans aren't very happy, and there's a lot of questions to be asked for. So that's my thoughts and a breakdown of Plymouth Argyle's current situation and their season so far. I hope you've enjoyed this shorter sort of style video. I hope you enjoyed the sort of technical breakdown of the team as well and all the facts and stats. If you do like this sort of video, don't forget to smash the like button, drop me a subscribe as well, even leave a comment. Any engagement means a lot to the YouTube channel if you want me to see do more of these sort of videos. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on another video very, very soon. Yeah!